Okay, folks, we're getting ready to start another week of Linglestown Gazette morning update content, video, live streaming, and all that kind of stuff. Let me get my browser on the live stream so I can see your comments. And that brings a point up. If you have questions about what's happening in your neighborhood, your local area, here's a place you can ask some questions. I might have an answer, I might not, but if I don't, I promise you I will try and find out what is going on. Anything in the world of Lower Paxton Township, Central Dauphin School District, the greater Linglestown area. Looks like everything's working. All right, so we're into it. This is Bill Bostic, publisher, reporter, chief cook and bottle washer for Linglestown Gazette, an online news service that's been bouncing around the internet since 2006, believe it or not, my third attempt. This is the morning update, and it's brought to you by Consolidated Insurance Services, owned and operated by one Linglestonian, David Jones. Auto, home, life, and business insurances, a treasure trove of information about things to protect your assets. Anywhere from all those things I listed, plus specialty types of things that they include in policies to protect you for those things that crop up. And this is something related to what I'm going to be talking about here. I mean, if your sewer line or your water line breaks underground, an expensive repair, there's insurances for that. A little rider you put on. I don't know. I'm not an insurance agent. I once sold insurance, but I would call David Jones. He's over there at 6109 Jonestown Road. The office is on Jonestown Road, behind the Carnes Food Plaza, very close to Paxtonia Elementary School. I mean, it's right there. Just look for the Erie Insurance sign. Got a lot of stuff to share with you today. Anywhere from some updates about what's going on here with Linglestown Gazette, what's happening in the world just beyond your backyard, some sports, some local events. It's going to be like a magazine type show. And I was just talking about sewer lines. Now, if something happens, let's say that for some reason sewage starts flowing into your basement, and that happens on occasions to people. There's backups, right? Who are you going to call? Are you going to call Donald Trump, our president? Are you going to call United States Representative Perry? I don't. For some reason, something tells me that would not help you out very much. I mean, that's not what these guys do. Okay? Really, what we're talking about there is a local issue. Local matters. And that's what I've been talking about for months. I'm actually going to change that up a little bit. Depending on the topic, I'm going to have taglines for it. It's be hashtag CD Matters for Central Dauphin. All right. The second one's going to be hashtag LP Matters. And the third one's going to be hashtag LG Matters for Linglestown. So local matters is not specific enough. We're going to zero right in. We're going to niche down to CD Matters, LP Matters, and LG Matters. And those are taglines you can put in search engines and find stuff about what's happening in your local neighborhood. All right, and to get even more specific to Linglestown Gazette and the world around you, over the weekend I had sort of a brainstorm. I shared it last night with my co-host on Wednesdays, and your host for this particular show on Fridays, Crystal Bob. By the way, she's with Iron Valley Real Estate of Central Pennsylvania. So if you have a real estate need, that's who you need to call. Crystal Bob, Iron Valley Real Estate of Central Pennsylvania. Because what we're doing here is being run on a wing and a prayer. I say that because I have another job. I mean, I just spent a number of hours working for an employer in the news business covering state government type topics. That's what pays my bills. For years and years and years, again, I've been doing this since 2006, Linglestown Gazette. Linglestown Gazette was a hole in my pocket because everything that was every expense, equipment, access to the internet, whatever was coming out of my pocket. I'm not complaining. I chose to do that. I am not complaining. But at some point in time, it has to turn around. Now, fortunately, we're getting enough money coming in to cover expenses. But what's the problem? The problem for you is that as a member of our community in Lower Paxton Township, Central Dauphin School District, the greater Linglestown area, you do not have a full-time journalist. There is no one keeping a watch on what's happening in local government, Lower Paxton Township, Central Dauphin School District. And that's a problem. Do you realize how big Central Dauphin School District is? It's over a $200 million operation. Compare that to Lower Paxton Township, $25 million. That's all that's a lot of money, but that's a lot less than $204 million that the school district's spending. The city of Harrisburg, they're just talking about some budgetary stuff now. $69 million. All right? Central Dauphin School District, $204 million. Don't kid yourself. When there's that much money flowing through an entity, they need to be watched. And that doesn't even count local sports. That doesn't even account local events. That doesn't even account for slice of life, interesting stories that are out there, what people are doing. You don't have anyone doing that. I'm just part-timing it with a few volunteers. I'm a volunteer myself. So what we need to do as a community, folks, is take it to the next level, that we have a legitimate news outlet. We have a legitimate media outlet for things about our area. It's not that Donald Trump and what's happening in Washington isn't important. It's very important. But the things that impact your life more than anything else is right here in your community, right? And what I'm trying to share with you is that if we don't take it to the next level as a community when it comes to our media and news, it's not going to happen. At some point in time, I'm going to run out of steam because I cannot continue to do effective work for an employer and for the local community. That's not a very stable approach and business model. So what I've come up with is we've had a number of great sponsors pretty much doing one-off things. They'll sponsor a football season in part. They'll sponsor a specific sports event. We have David Jones with Consolidated Insurance Services and a list of other businesses to help us out and get some publicity via this show and other things. But that's not going to cut it. That's barely covering costs, okay? So what we're going to launch, two things here in the near future. One is what I'm calling a partnership program. And what that's going to be is that local businesses who really want to get a stake in the online community in our area and have some notoriety and get the word out about their expertise and how they can help their customers and customers to be can partner with Linglestown Gazette. And then what they'll be able to do is use our platform to get out to people specifically in their marketplace. And there's nothing that shows up on Facebook to let you know, but Linglestown Gazette on any given week will reach 4,000 to 6,000 people right now. Even on this part-time effort, we're reaching 4,000 to 6,000 people. And then of those, about a third or so of those engage in the content, meaning they'll like it on Facebook, they'll share it, they'll write a comment. I mean, that's a huge number. If a third of the people who look at this stuff is actually interacting and doing things with it, that means they're engaged, they're interested, we're providing information they want. On the sports side, it's a little bit, the reach is a little bit less, but people are even more engaged. I mean, I think over the past week with the softball, half the people who, if we had 5,000 people reach of 5,000, 2,500 or more engaged and did something with the content. So we'll partner with people and show you how to take advantage of this platform that's been built around Linglestown Gazette. So that's just a quick overview of what's going to happen there. And the second thing that's going to happen, and we're going to try and develop a full-fledged, worthwhile patron membership program where you can partner with Linglestown Gazette to help bring programming, news, information, all things local that is not available anywhere else. Just isn't available. So that's the story on that. Now let's take a look at the Kane Mortgage Watchdog Report. When I first started doing this broadcast, I actually had some sound effects, and maybe someday I will. I tried to put dog barking out there. I just don't have the setup to do it properly at the moment. I'll have to figure that out. This week, the only major local government meeting is the Lower Paxton Township Supervisors will be meeting on Tuesday, 7 o'clock. You can watch it on TV if you want. It's Channel 21 on Comcast, Channel 20 on Verizon Fios. And a couple things coming up on that particular meeting. They're going to be dealing with some new regulations in regard to hazardous waste disposal. I think the township is has to comply with some state regulations. They're going to be adopting some stuff about hazardous waste disposal into our local regulations. And the big topic, ding, 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 money, money, money. Here's what we're going to be talking about, honey. There's an $11 million bond that the township is going to be considering floating to cover things like Friendship Center upgrades, police radio system upgrades, bridge reconstruction, I'm not sure which bridges, stormwater management, okay, that's back in the list, and fire apparatus. All those things are going to be up for review and discussion. $11 million bond that they're looking to float, so they'll be talking about that. Then on Wednesday, the Planning Commission. Now, the Planning Commission takes a look at development issues, different things that are proposed to be built. There's something going on at the Taco Bell on Jonestown Road. They have some sort of plan. I don't know if it's an expansion plan or what they're doing, but if you're into Mexican food, you may want to check that out. Taco Bell is doing something at that property on Jonestown Road in Colonial Park. And Blue Ridge Village, that's the former Blue Ridge Country Club being turned into a multi-use housing development, going to be apartment buildings, assisted living facility, a community park, and some commercial stuff along Linglestown Road. You have to enter the development to get to it, though. There's actually one of the commercial buildings is starting to take shape. If you go on by there, you'll see there's a building actually going up. And there's a plan before the Planning Commission about the CVS pharmacy that's going to be constructed there. So they're going to be final. I don't know if it's a final plan or a preliminary plan. I'm not sure what it is. But that is going to be before the Planning Commission, 7 o'clock, Township Municipal Center. And then the township does some fun things, too. I just got an updated press release from Joe Murphy, Lower Paxton Township Historical Commission. Again, there's 8 people watch and 8 people watch. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm monitoring what's going on here. The Lower Paxton Township Historical Commission meets this week, this Thursday, 6:30, at the Township Municipal Center, and it's going to be an interesting topic this month. It has to do with the St. Thomas UCC Church. It's about a mile east of the Linglestown Square at Wenrick Street. And they, beside the church where they have a lot of chicken barbecues and things like that, it's where I go to vote, that kind of thing. They have a very, very old cemetery, and that's what the focus is going to be on I believe some of the people that are buried there, also what's happening to try and maintain the tombstones. I do know that the Linglestown founder, Thomas Lingle, I believe, is buried there. There's a Indian princess queen buried there, and other people that are critical to our history here in the Linglestown area. So that's going to be your topic. Yes, it's going to be at the municipal center. So you can look forward to that this Thursday. On school district news, there's no meeting this week. They meet on June 10th, next Monday. Okay. One thing I noticed, I was trying to catch up on some personal paperwork. Do you remember? Did you get that school district census mailing where they send that out every year, and they want you to identify who's living in your household? I'm late. They wanted it sometime in March. I'm doing it now in late May, June. So I don't know if the school district officials are going to show up at my door and sort of give me heck for not getting this thing in. But the school district census thing is the reason they do that. Listen to this. Pennsylvania Public School Code of 1949. Think about how much money it costs to do this and what value is the school district getting out of it. That's my question. I'm putting on my Andy Rooney hat here. And speaking of my hat, what we're talking about here is fatmanclothingcompany.com. That's the hat I'm wearing today. And we'll get into the legend of the Fat Man. That's Anthony Cristillo of Colonial Park. And I'm coming to understand that Mr. Cristillo is a top-notch, maybe professional quality bocce ball player. So I want him on my team. I'm on a bocce ball league at Coons Park every Wednesday. Anthony, consider joining our team, would you? We're called the Extras, and we need you as an extra, I believe, based on the form I see you display on Facebook. But getting back to the census form, the school district does this every year, trying to comply with the state regulation. You know what? I don't think it really brings any value at all. And the school district has to send it out to every resident, every household. And then the forms come back, and what do? Someone's going to manipulate that information, put it into a computer, compile a report, and send it to the state, most likely. Guess what? This is back in an era, 1949, when they probably had what's called a head tax, where if you were an adult and you were earning money, you paid a fee to the school district. That's one of the ways they raise money. And up until recent years, that may have applied, but it doesn't anymore because we don't have a head tax in Central Dauphin School District. This is a way the school district can save some money. Find out how to get out of this procedure. It makes no sense whatsoever. How about that? Anyone agree with me? Put it in the comments. Get rid of the school district census. Come on. All right, one other bit of information you may not be aware of. One of my sources let me know. Look at this. The Central Dauphin Rams wrestling program is looking to build a training center at the Central Dauphin High School complex. They made a presentation to a committee of the Central Dauphin School Board recently, and what's happening is the high school doesn't have enough room for all the wrestlers that are going through that program. And apparently, one of the issues that comes up is parity between Central Dauphin High School, Central Dauphin East. And the word that came out of that meeting is that actually Central Dauphin East High School has a bigger facility for wrestling than Central Dauphin. So anyways, apparently what's happening is the Rams wrestling program is raising money for a center. They're starting to talk to the school board about getting permission to build it. I looked at the plan. If it's constructed, it looks like they're looking at a little plot of land just beside the tennis courts at Central Dauphin High School. So that's happening. I have some other things that are brewing that I need to report on about Central Dauphin School District. The controversy over summer work hours, and some employees were paid for not working, as some sort of administrative snafu from a couple years ago. I have that to report on. And there's one other thing. I can't think of it, but everything's sort of gotten washed away with the holiday, with softball and other things like that. Let's move over to the St. Thomas Roasters Community News Report, where I try and highlight some things that are happening in the community. All right. And one thing to note is our township gets involved in the Summer Concert and Movie Series. Now, if you go to the township's website, if you put Lower Paxton Township in any browser, you'll be able to find Lower Paxton Township's government website. There's information on there about this summer concert and movie series. It's held at Heroes Grove at Brightville Park. Now, I know Crystal Bob knows what Heroes Grove is. She was there for a military celebration. But Dave Caesar, do you know, have you laid eyes on Heroes Grove? It's an amphitheater located in Brightville Park beside Friendship Center. That's where this is all going to take place. It kicks off June 14th with the ever-popular Lower Paxton Variety Band. And I can't think of the band director's name off the top of my head. He's been there for years. I can't come up with it. I'm sorry. So that's coming up June 14th and runs through August 9th. I see on the July 12th they have the Jelly Bricks Beatles tribute concert. I mean, great stuff coming down the line here. Also want to circle your calendars. Becky Ryder Craft, circle your calendars. Tom Gingrich, circle it. July 3rd. That's when the fireworks will be happening. The professional fireworks, legally produced, not illegal, not violating any state or local laws, will be happening at Coons Park, courtesy of the Linglestown Fire Company. I believe their number is 35, Station 35. Okay? And if you want to have a great place to watch it, you want to go to Coons Pool. There's a viewing party there. I think this is the third or fourth year. You don't have to be a member of the pool. I think it's a $3 fee. You get admission. You can swim. And the pool, whether you realize it or not, is elevated. It's like on a little hill. And it's absolutely the best place to watch the fireworks at Coons Park. That's July 3rd. Fireworks at Coons Park plus the pool party. Now, speaking of Coons Pool was open, bigger, and not bigger, but better, rehabbed. Everything is looking fresh and new because some significant work has been done there. So be sure to check it out. Again, you don't have to be a member to go to Coons Pool. There are memberships. If you're going to go there alone, I would strongly suggest you take a look at it. Go to coonspool.com. Find out about membership. It's just opened up here in the last week or so. But if you want to go occasionally, it's $10 per person. If you have kids 3 and under, they get in for free. And if you want to wait till the end of the day, after 5 o'clock, it drops to $5 a person. So if you want a nice place to swim, the crystal blue clear waters of Coons Pool are awaiting you right now. And we're going to wrap up this morning with our Tonino's Pizza Sports Report, local sports report. The big news today, of course, is the Central Dauphin Lady Rams softball team is kicking off their state tournament bid at Lebanon Valley College today at 4 o'clock. They'll be taking on the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League second seed. It's called North Allegheny. This is a suburban Pittsburgh school district, and I'm sure they're going to be a stout test for the Lady Rams. My sports director, Joe Gilloway, and myself will be broadcasting the game on audio only starting at 3:50 this afternoon. So you can go to Linglestown Gazette Sports. There'll be a picture there, and it'll say, Central Dauphin versus North Allegheny. There'll be a radio type feed. We got pretty good reviews the last time we did it this past Friday down at your college. So that's what's happening this afternoon. Now that broadcast is being brought to you by the Central Dauphin Rams Youth Baseball Academy. This is tied to the Central Dauphin High School baseball program. Head coach Brian Zellers contacted me and graciously supported this broadcast. We're also being brought to you by Econ Wealth Management right here in the Linglestown area. I'm a client, and the main guy, the principal of the company, Steve Economopoulos, big baseball guy. I met him during my Sandlot days when I was covering the local team. All right, tomorrow night we got Women's Golf Day 2019 at Colonial Golf and Tennis Club. I guess you can still go out and sign up. The information is on Linglestown Gazette's Facebook page. Just go to the events section. You should be able to find a way. If you can't find it, you want to come, you want to learn how to play golf, just a quick introduction. You don't have to have clubs. Give me a call, 717-512-0722. I'll help you out. No problem. The last thing is you have young people in high school age kids in playing basketball. There's a local guy by the name of Bill Gaffey. He was formerly the coach at Susquehanna Township Indians basketball team. He and his son have pahoops.org. They're having a big showcase event at Lancaster Bible College June 30th. So check that out, pahoops.org. If you want to give your basketball player, girls or boys, some experience playing some good competition this summer, check that out. Well, we're also just want to also recognize Cole Chiropractic. Yeah, Cole Performance Chiropractic. Dr. Cole Performance Chiropractic. Dr. Chad Cole at Platinum Fitness for supporting us. CBC Cabinetry and Flooring also providing regular support. Even Springgate Vineyard provides support. All these people are helping us out. We really appreciate it. I'll be back on Wednesday with Crystal Bob, probably from St. Thomas Roasters Coffee House. Everyone likes Crystal. She brightens up everyone's day. We get a good vibe going, good conversation, worth checking out. We like to share a lot of local stuff. So this is Bill Bostic for Consolidated Insurance Services saying, see you later. See you Wednesday. Have a great Monday. Talk to you on Wednesday.